For sure. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So did we get a name for the first compound? The one up here.
Is it 3-methylheptanone or pentanone?
So it is going to be pentanone. And then you're also missing one other thing.
You kind of cut out. Did you say for the first one?
Is it 3-methylpentanone?
Yeah, so 3-methylpentanone is really close. You're just missing one other piece of information.
Is it 3-methylpentatone?
Yeah, you could put the 2 there. Usually you would write it out as 3-methyl-2-pentanone.
2-pentanone.
Right. So with a ketone, you have to indicate where it is in the chain unless there's only one place it could be. Like with propanone, it could only be on carbon number 2. So you don't have to say 2-propanone because there is no other propanone.
You said we can't put the 2 inside? I'm just so used to that.
Yeah, you could do that. You could do, okay, let's
Yeah,
do.
I'm used to writing it that way.
Okay, that's fine. Let's do the next one. Which group has the priority? Is it the carboxylic acid or the ketone?
I thought it was the carboxylic acid.
Right. So that makes this carbon number 1. What is the prefix used for a ketone when it's a substituent?
Can you repeat that?
What do we use as the substituent name for a ketone when it's a substituent and not the priority?
It's not the oxy one, right? Oxo?
Yeah, it is oxo.
It is the oxo one? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that's always weird.
Yeah, so it's 3-oxo, and then what's the rest of the name?
Butanoic acid.
Butanoic acid.
Right. Okay. The next one we have what functional group?
Ester.
An ester. So how do we name esters? Did anybody
each side of the, you name each side of the ester?
Right, so which part comes first?
The left side.
Not necessarily.
The ester is not on the benzylic position, right? Or is it? Is it because the carbonyl carbon's on there?
Yeah, so I mean, like this is the ester functional group right here.
Yeah.
So
would it be the right side because it's an ethyl?
Right. So when you're naming an ester, the format is always alkyl carboxylate. I don't know what I was doing. Okay. Alkyl carboxylate. So you have the ethyl group, and then you have your carboxylate.
Mm-hmm.
So this is ethyl benzoate. And there is a space here. That wasn't clear here. Sorry, my pen's not working very well. I don't know why.
So if the oxygen was in the benzylic position, like if it was reversed, I mean, that changes the whole entire name then, correct?
Right.
because it's no longer the carboxylate.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would the name of this one be? I guess I put one extra carbon. I'll remove one. No, we won't agree. That has the same number of carbons. So what is this alkyl group?
Benzyl?
Oh, is that the phenyl?
Phenolate.
Right. And then what would this carboxylate be?
Ethylate.
Is that the
Purple.
propanoate?
Propionate.
Propyl carboxylate? Oh, propanoate.
Propanoate. Mm.
No, wait.
So you do count the carbon on the. Okay. I
Right.
don't know why. See that.
Propanoate.
Okay, let's do the next one. We'll go down here. So what's carbon number 1 automatically?
The ketone.
Right.
Ketone.
Then do we want a number to the right or to the left?
To the left.
Why the left?
It gets the lowest numbers to get to the bromine and to the 2 methyl groups. And the bromine's next priority. It's like a bigger.
Well,
bigger.
so halogens and alkyl groups actually have the same level of priority. So usually you give them alphabetical preference,
Alphabetical then.
but there are 2 more methyl groups. Like there are 2 methyl groups total, so numbering to the right. Better.
I didn't know that.
Because you're gonna have to say the number 3 twice.
Oh, in order to say like 3,3-dimethyl. Oh.
Right.
3,3.
And then what's the rest of the name?
Cyclopentanone.
Right, there's 6 carbons still.
Oh, hexanone.
Right.
I just was looking at the 5.
Yeah. I realized that once you said that. Okay, let's name this other ester here. So what is our alkyl group name that we have to give?
Ethyl.
Right. And then what would this be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We have 5 with that methyl.
That's
So would it be
4 meth?
4 methyl pentanate? Pentanate?
Right. So
Propanoate.
remember, you have to,
there you go, pentanate.
yeah, so you have to give your alkane name and then O8.
08.
So O8 is your suffix for these. So
Is there an
it's
8
alkane.
suffix? I don't know why I keep saying that.
No, I mean, you might be thinking of carboxylate.
Okay.
But remember that this name is derived from the benzoic acid, from the carboxylic acid name. So if it's propanoic acid, you take off ic acid and replace it with 8 for the carboxylate.
Okay, that's maybe.
So you can leave the O there, though, is the problem.
Propanoate.
So that name is just is ethyl 4-methyl.
Right.
Oh wow. Okay.
And this space in between this is what indicates to us that it's an ester. Okay, next one. What functional group do we have?
Aldehyde.
Right, and what is the suffix for an aldehyde?
Al.
Al. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the
5, 6.
longest chain? Yeah, 5, 6.
4-methyl-hexanal.
Exactly. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this one I was, for some reason.
So with naming an amide, I think it's easier if you kind of imagine that you don't have these groups here at first. So just think of it as having 2 hydrogens at first. What would be the name of the amide if it just had hydrogens on there?
I'm not too sure.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Are these the aniline?
No, that's only for aromatic.
Oh, okay.
All right, so there's
Would
a
it just be-
suffix. There's a suffix for naming amides. What is the suffix?
Is it not just amide?
It is, yeah. So this would just be right. So you would use your 4 carbons.
Butanamide.
Yeah. And then in order to indicate these, what do we do?
Is this the NN thing?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just use the letter N as your locant because these are not numbered. So instead of saying like 4-methyl, you say N-ethyl, N-methyl.
And is there a way to do that? Like, just like you said, N-ethyl and then N-methyl, or N-ethyl methyl? Or is that
So
wrong?
it's N-ethyl, N-methyl. You use it just like you do numbers. So like if we had this molecule here, we wouldn't call this 3,5 ethyl methyl, right? Like, or 5,3 ethyl methyl. We would call it 5-ethyl 3-methyl. So when the 2 things are different, they each get their own locant. If it had been 2 methyl groups, we would say N dimethyl.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so for the next one, we have an acid chloride. What is the suffix for acid chlorides?
Is it going to be an
Ace.
acyl chloride?
No, it's not acyl chloride, but that's pretty close.
Acetal?
No.
Alkyl chloride?
Is it the O I don't O.
Yeah, I think you're going for the right thing. It's OYL. OYL chloride, right? So this would be butanoyl chloride, but it also has this guy here. So this is going to be 3-bromo.
Butanoyl.
Sorry, there's a lag on my pen for some reason. So I have to let it catch up sometimes. Okay. 3-bromo butanoyl chloride.
Butanoyl.
Okay, what about this one here? What is the higher priority functional group?
The
Aldehyde?
Yeah, the aldehyde is the highest priority. So that's going to indicate our suffix. So what is the parent name of this molecule?
XML.
Hexanal, right? Okay, and then we just have our two substituents. What's this one?
Own? 3
Oxo.
own?
Yeah, it's
Oxo.
oxo when it's a substituent.
Mm.
And 4-methyl. So this is going to be 4-methyl.
4-methyl. 3-oxohexanal.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was looking at it before I saw you write it.
That's good.
Oxo.
Okay, and then our last one. What do you do when you have two of the same functional group and they're carboxylic acids?
You put di. Would be a dicarboxylic acid.
So where do you put it in the name? Like if this were just one carboxylic acid, it would be pentanoic acid.
Okay.
But there's two of them. So where do we put the di?
At the beginning.
Well, if you put it at the beginning, that makes it
It'd be
seem
in
like
the middle. Would it be
two.
pentandioic acid?
Right. So you
Pentanoic
actually give the letter
diacid.
E back for this one.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. That makes sense.
So the trick to knowing when the letter E comes back in is if you are adding in a suffix that starts with a vowel, you do not add the E. So it's pentanoil or pentanoic or pentanal, pentanol, whatever. But if you have something that starts with a consonant, you have to add in the E.
Okay. Nice. I did not know that. That's great to know.
Mm-hmm. It's something that you kind of pick up at some point. I've actually never seen that just like written out, but it's what I've noticed. Okay, does that help with nomenclature? Do we at least know what we need to go back over? Okay.
Yep, a ton.
Yeah, so definitely revisit nomenclature if that had a lot of struggle for you, because there's a good amount of nomenclature on the test so far. I think I'm done writing those problems, but I did write quite a few.
Yes, thank you so much. I have to get going, but I appreciate the help.
All right, no problem.
Have a great one.
You too.
Is it possible to go over